This is part 2 of I Captured the Tyrant's Heart. You can find the first part 1 in the pinned comment and description. 𝐸 came and asked, "What is the birthday girl doing in the corner by herself? Happy birthday. Do you come here to hide from all the people out there?" 𝐸 replied, "I suppose so." 𝐸 asked, "Are you alone here?" 𝐸 also came and stated, "Lord 𝐸," then said, "Happy birthday. The ball will begin as soon as His Majesty arrives, so a member of House 𝐸 should not be absent from the hall." After some time, 𝐸 thought, "I was hoping not to draw any attention at this ball." Then her father asked, "Will you save your first dance for me?" "Right," 𝐸 said. 𝐸 needs to spend time with her friends as well. 𝐸 added, "Exactly, this will be her worst birthday ever if she has to dance with her father first." 𝐸 said, "Excuse me, I was not planning to dance in the first place, and thought, they are not even listening to me." Mother said, "You are so popular," and asked, "Have you heard of this popular New Year belief? They say the first person you dance with at the New Year's ball after you come of age is the one you will fall in love with." 𝐸 replied, "That makes no sense at all." Mother said, "Really, but you never know what might happen. So, who here will you dance with first?" 𝐸 asked, "What has gotten into you, Mother? I thought you would want me to dance with 𝐸 or 𝐸." Mother replied, "Well, and thought, for some reason, the air at the palace feels heavier than usual today. I know it's always been like that here, but this is on a whole other level. It is almost as if," then said, "we should try to go home early tonight," and thought, it is not just that the air is heavy, it's clinging to 𝐸, as if it wants to swallow her up. But why is it doing that all of a sudden? Suddenly, the emperor arrived. 𝐸 thought, it's been a while since I have seen 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢'𝐬. He looks thinner than before, but his slyness has not changed. Mother stated, "You have to stay with me and your father, understand? Promise me that you will not leave my side tonight." 𝐸 asked, "Shouldn't we greet him as well, Mother?" The emperor stated, "That's enough. Please raise your heads, everyone. I have been busy lately, so there are quite a few faces that I have not seen in a while. It is good to see you here." Mother said, "Get behind me." 𝐸 asked, "What is wrong? Mother, why are you acting like this? Is it because His Majesty's appearance has changed?" The nobles were chatting. "Just look at his dark hair and majestic poise. His black hair is just like the previous emperor's. Every strand looks perfect. The hair is proof of his imperial bloodline. What a noble color." Mother asked, "How has everyone been brainwashed like this? How could this be?" The emperor said, "This is the 273rd year of our empire. Let us begin this New Year celebration. Please enjoy the party to your heart's content." 𝐸 thought, "These petals disappear once I touch them. They are like a mirage. It feels like the 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢'𝐬 I knew does not exist anymore. Now he is just the emperor." Emperor stated, "Come to think of it, today is someone's birthday. I hope you will all join me in wishing Lady 𝐸 a happy birthday. May you receive plentiful blessings." 𝐸 replied, "Thank you, I promised my father a dance." The emperor asked, "Lady, may I have the honor of your first dance?" 𝐸 thought, he is asking me for a dance in front of all these people. Turning him down does not seem like an option. Then again, this is just like him. I don't think 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢'𝐬 will do anything to my family if I refuse, but people will start talking about this again if I do. Suddenly, her father said, "My daughter promised to dance with me all night. Your Majesty, please allow me to spend time with her as her father." The emperor stated, "But Duke, I was under the impression that it is customary for a young lady to have her first dance with someone around her age. Am I wrong? Not to mention, this will be Lady 𝐸 first dance as an adult. Dancing with the emperor would also help her position in high society." Mother spoke, "We appreciate the offer, but my daughter has already promised her father, so I humbly ask for your understanding." The emperor replied, "Well, I don't mean to put any pressure on Lady 𝐸. It does not seem like we will be reaching any sort of conclusion, so I will let the lady choose herself. It is her first dance, after all." 𝐸 replied, "Then I will dance with my father as promised." The emperor came very near her. 𝐸 thought he was going to kiss me in front of everyone. The emperor said, I see you wore it. It suits you. Aren't you curious about the red jewel? I will tell you about it if you give me your first dance. So, shall we, lady? 𝐸 replied, Very well, your majesty. Her mother said, No, come here. The emperor stated, Oh dear, have you forgotten the rules? Once two people agree to dance, no one can interrupt them until they are done. It's one of the empire's oldest rules when it comes to the ballroom. Also, you have been acting as if I'm trying to harm Lady 𝐸, but you don't need to worry. Her safety is more important to me than it is to anyone else. Therefore, I can promise that I won't touch a single hair on her head. I could never do such a thing. But of course, if that is something Lady 𝐸 wants, then it is a different story. Now, let's make our way to the dance floor. 𝐸 said, You should know that I would never want something like that. The emperor asked, Really? Then they started dancing. The emperor asked, What is the matter? You don't seem too happy. 𝐸 replied, Well, actually, the thing is. The emperor asked, Are you mad at me? 𝐸 replied, No, it's just I'm bad at dancing. The emperor stated, That's all right, just follow my lead, and thought, Goodness, it should be a crime for you to be this adorable. 𝐸 asked, Are you going to dance like this the entire time? Let me down. The dance floor may be far from the crowd, but they can still see us. The emperor used his magic. The noble said, Oh, it's happened again. The petals are so beautiful. The emperor asked, There, is that better? 𝐸 replied, Stop playing games and put me down. Don't give me that nonsense, and don't you think you are using your magic too frivolously? I can't believe you used this much magic just to divert people's attention, and thought. Also, this is not a type of magic I have seen before, and how was he able to cast it without any preparation? The emperor asked, What do you mean I am being frivolous? Today is your birthday. This is the least I could do. If anyone bothers you, I will manipulate their memories, so there is no need to worry. It does consume quite a bit of energy, but if it's for you, I don't mind. So just focus on me for now. I can give you anything you desire as a birthday gift. 𝐸 thought, His breath feels hot. At this rate, I might get caught up in his antics again. Then asked, If you really want to congratulate me on my birthday, then tell me about this red jewel. I have tested it, but I still can't figure out what it's made of. What on earth is it? Answer me. The emperor replied, It's my heart. 𝐸 asked, Wait, what are you saying? The emperor repeated, That jewel is my heart, then thought, My dear 𝐸, you have no idea how much you saved me back then. Whenever I remember my childhood, a feeling of pain invades me. Maids were asking each other, Did you find him? Another replied, No, he is not here either. Where has he gone? Then one maid said, I found him. Here he is. Quickly report to Her Majesty. Why is he suddenly shaking? Your Majesty, you are sweating cold, one maid said. The prince replied, I hate you. Go away. A maid asked, Are you okay? The other one replied, Yes, I am okay. By the way, His Majesty is doing this again. Then he thought, It was difficult to look at people. I would have a strange and painful sensation in my body because, for me, I can see the souls of humans. My eyes hurt a lot. This has been happening since birth. It spreads throughout my heart. I am sure everyone is wearing masks on their faces, although the color of their souls covers it. Sometimes it seems that everything is covered by a thin membrane. I guess she is angry again, he thought, then asked, Are you angry because of me? Mother, his mother replied, I am not angry. I heard you ran away from your class again. You even bit the maid. Why did you do that? The prince replied, I hate people. Their souls are greedy. When I look at them, I feel like they are going to eat me. Mother spoke. That topic again. We changed all the employees using the same excuse as before. Why do you keep saying this? The prince thought, the soul is invisible to other people. I realized that only I could see it after they had given me the nickname, Weeping Prince. However, he said, Each person's soul has a different color. That's why my eyes hurt so much. Mother said, I love you. If I, your mother, do not believe you, who will? The prince said, Mother. And his mother thought, so the crown prince is still a child. Children usually lie and complain. If you educate them well, they will grow up like other children. If you grow up and are still a worthy successor, you will be able to establish many alliances to benefit the family. The prince stated, Liar, you do not believe me. I can see everything. The sincerity of mother. You think of me like I am a tool. Mother said, How can you be so rude? You lack education. You will never miss any of your classes again. In the next scene, the emperor asked, What do you want? The empress replied, How about we give the crown prince a younger brother? The emperor asked, Do you mean he is a weak person? The empress replied, Since the crown prince's seizures are not improving, I am concerned about his position as successor. The emperor told her, He is still young. You worry too much. If you are so worried, why don't you introduce them and make them friends? If he finds nice friends, he can open his heart to people. The prince thought, Nice friends. I thought there was no way something like that was possible for me. My eyes hurt, but my 𝐸, I finally saw you. Being able to see someone's soul is more painful than you would think. A maid came and spoke. Don't be scared. Your Highness, your little rabbit friend is here. The prince asked, Friend? The maid replied, Yes, the rabbit and I are your friends. The maid thought, Well, that was easy. I was honestly scared, because all the crown prince's servants were quitting their jobs one after the other. The prince asked, Are you really my friend? The maid thought, I knew it. He is just like any other kid after all, and replied, Of course, I will always be on your side. You can trust me. The prince stated, Liar, you are lying right now, I can tell. The maid replied, Forgive me. I shall excuse myself now. After that, he thought, So much for being on my side. I am so sick of this. Since I refuse to see anyone other than my family, my father helped me make a friend. The emperor said, Don't be rude when you meet the Haldrant family's daughter. I hear the lady is similar to you in some ways, so play nice. The prince thought, Similar to me. I did hear the servants gossiping about her before. I am not interested in meeting her. That's what I was thinking. I did not know I would end up meeting her like this. Well, it does not matter who I meet. They are all the same anyway. The prince spoke, Father, can't I just go to my room? My eyes hurt whenever I meet people. The emperor stated, Crown Prince, you are still young, so I have been overlooking your immature behavior, but do not make your mother worry anymore. The prince thought, Immature behavior? What did I expect? He never cared about the real me from the very beginning, and replied, Yes, your majesty. Then thought, I am so sick of all this. The palace is constantly crowded with people who hold dark desires in their hearts and tell lies. There is also my mother, who only cares about her own goals, and my father, who loves a woman like her. I am sick of it all. But then I saw you for the first time and was almost blinded by your light. It was the first time in my life that I could see someone clearly. I can't see her soul. That was the day we first met, and I never wanted to leave your side ever since. I knew you found me annoying, but I could not help it. My world was filled with nothing but pain, and you were the single ray of light in my life. You were also the only person who saw me as a friend and not the crown prince. 𝐸 said, Your nose is bleeding. Don't lift your head, you also get sick often. The prince thought, Also, I have not heard about anyone in her family being sick. 𝐸 shouted, You idiot! I told you not to lift your head. I am going to press on your nose to stop the bleeding, so tell me if it hurts. The prince thought, Well, I guess it does not matter. If 𝐸 is the one saying it, it must be true. If we spend more time together, I bet 𝐸 would like these desserts. Since she wanted to read this book, you become my entire world. I think I like her. I thought you would feel the same way about me one day, as long as I kept trying to win you over. That is until you told me what your ideal type was. I suppose that is when I thought, what do I have to do to change my appearance? and my anxiety started growing. And of course, 𝐸 knows what she likes and dislikes. She does not care about jewelry or dresses, and she cares even less about other people. All she does is study difficult subjects. There are times when she says things that I don't understand, and it saddens me to see the despair on her face. That is why I decided that I would give 𝐸 whatever she wanted. The reason is simple. It's because I like her. But what should I do? Black hair and black eyes. I am getting worried. What if 𝐸 falls for someone else later on? I will be abandoned. If something has no value, it's discarded. That is the way of this world. If I want to stay by 𝐸's side, I have to win her heart. But how? I can't change my appearance just because I want to. It's better if she was trying to use me like everyone else. Then she would at least stay by my side as long as I am the emperor. Suddenly, the thing appeared and asked, "Do you want that girl? I can help you. All you need to do is allow me in." The prince thought, he looks bizarre. He felt familiar at the same time. It was a strange feeling, and asked, "Who are you?" The thing replied, "I am a god who has been forgotten by humans. If you form a contract with me, I will grant your wish. I can help you conquer the entire continent and become its king, or give you an endless supply of gold and jewels. I can even make that girl love you." The prince thought, I can have 𝐸's love. No, I can't force her to love me. She would not like that. Besides, I don't even know if I can trust this being. The god asked, "You don't know if you can trust me?" The prince thought, how did he read my mind? The god replied, "Foolish child, I will give you a small gift and leave for today. I am sure you will want me soon enough." After that day, I suddenly started growing taller, but my anxiety grew with my height. Eventually, after a series of events, what the dark entity said came true. I saw that bastard like 𝐸, and on top of that, he has dark hair. Is she going to look after him instead and leave me behind? No, I don't want her to throw me away. The god said, "If you form a contract with me, everything will be taken care of." The prince replied, "All right." There was a story. The god who formed a contract with the first emperor was, in fact, the devil in disguise. The first emperor knew this, yet he still made a deal with the devil. As a result, he gained a tremendous amount of mana and knowledge. But what do you think the devil wanted from the emperor? The request he made was surprisingly simple. He wanted some of his blood mixed into the emperor's, that was all. Afterward, the devil's blood was passed down to all the emperor's descendants. That blood is the life force of the demons and drives humans mad. The human is slowly eaten away from the inside, and becomes the devil himself in the end. Although the blood became diluted over time, its concentration rose again thanks to the descendants of the emperor, forming contracts with the devil. In response, God gave a human on earth his blessing so they could combat the devil's influence. That person is the one who founded the Southern Empire. The darkness in the north and the light in the south have been countering each other, maintaining the balance in this world. The devil stated, "All you have to do now is become the emperor and tip the scales. Get rid of anything and anyone that stands in your way, kill them all. To obtain everything you want, you must grow stronger. Everything will work out if you become one with me." The emperor said, "If I had known that I would have to wait this long to see you again, I never would have agreed to the contract." 𝐸 asked, "What did you just say? I could not hear you over the music." The emperor stated, "I just really missed you. That's all. I missed you, my dear." 𝐸 said, "Wait, we can't make such close contact in public. Can't you feel my parents glaring at you?" The emperor replied, "Well, I could not brainwash your family with the others." 𝐸 said, "Exactly, so give me some space. Also, you have not answered my question yet. What did you mean when you said this jewel is your heart?" The emperor replied, "I mean exactly what I said." 𝐸 asked, "But what exactly does that mean? And if you came all the way to Valen with a gift for me, why didn't you give it to me yourself? You said you missed me, so it does not make any sense." The emperor replied, "I was afraid you might get hurt. There were a lot of people who wanted me dead after you left. You heard how I was put in confinement after my appearance changed. As soon as my younger brother was born, Everyone around me tried to kill me because they did not want me as the crown prince anymore. My mother colluded with the duke and sent an assassin to kill me. Luckily, I made it out alive, but I could not let my guard down because I was afraid they would go after you as well, so I became stronger. Unfortunately, my father got sick and collapsed, so I had to handle the affairs of the state on his behalf. The nobles kept challenging me until I officially rose to the throne. They spoke ill of your family every chance they got, and were against letting you return to the capital. If I had not uncovered their corruption and punished them, your family would not have been able to return to the capital, and my own life would have been in danger as well. 𝐸 said, so that's why you purged all those nobles and dissolved the confederation. The emperor replied, I am sorry. Despite all that, I should not have gone to Valen and left without saying a word, but I missed you so much that I just had to leave a heartfelt gift for you. Do you hate me now? 𝐸 replied, no, I was just asking questions because you have changed so much compared to when we were little. I will stop asking questions now. The emperor replied, but I am willing to answer any question you have for me. The devil said, liar, what you told her is not the truth. You were anxious because the nobles kept challenging you. You're lucky to survive. Liar. There was never a time when you were so weak, and that's all thanks to me. 𝐸 asked, why are you in a daze? The emperor replied, I am sorry. The devil stated, so that's her, your 𝐸. She is quite beautiful indeed. But if you let your guard down, you will lose her again, so hurry and make her yours. Take her already. The emperor shouted, stop. 𝐸 asked, you scared me. Why did you shout all of a sudden? The emperor replied, I am sorry, my head hurts all of a sudden. 𝐸 asked, what? Are you sick? Let me see. Your face feels hot. Are you sure you are all right? The devil again said, take her, make her yours. 𝐸 asked, what happened? Why are you so out of it? The emperor replied, don't worry, it's nothing. I have a terrible headache, so I think I will have to leave. 𝐸 thought, what is going on? He seems a little off today. Will he be all right on his own? The emperor thought, that could have been bad. A few days passed since the New Year's ball. Her sister spoke. I am happy to go to the academy. I won't have to stay home on my own anymore. I can't wait until I start at the academy. I am going to take this meme fruit to mother and father. 𝐸 thought, he is always bright and cheery, so I wonder why she said that all of a sudden. My parents have been overprotective of me since I was young, so they would always turn their attention toward me first. And 𝐸 probably sensed that as well. I will have to tell mother and father to pay more attention to her, since she will be going through puberty soon. Whenever a new year begins, many questions fill my head. Has this much time passed in my original world? Is my mom still alive? Will I really be able to return to my original world? Crap, I am brooding again. Right, I should tell 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 that the meme tree has borne fruit. I wonder what he has been up to after the ball. On the other hand, the emperor said, it hurts, I am in pain. So hurry and come see me. Next scene, 𝐸's father, Duke 𝐸, spoke. There have been some suspicious activities in the Southern Empire recently. I heard their military has been training regularly at the border. We should prepare for what might come as well. Duke 𝐸 asked, prepare for what might come. Should you really be reporting this to His Majesty? There is no concrete evidence, Duke 𝐸 said. Well, his daughter danced with His Majesty, so I suppose there is nothing for him to fear. Duke 𝐸 thought, although both dukes hold the same title as me. They hate my family because we support the emperor. I heard they also spoke out in favor of our exile 14 years ago. The emperor stated, silence. So, Duke 𝐸, how often is the Southern military training? Duke 𝐸 replied, not very often, but they have been training more and more. The army that serves directly under the emperor is also gathered at the border. The emperor thought, because that army has only one purpose, to keep me in check. The demon spoke, how absurd. Just kill them all, you have the power to do so. The emperor thought, his eyes remind me of 𝐸. I need to calm down. If I become filled with murderous intent, the devil will consume me. Now that 𝐸 is back in the capital, I can't lose my temper and let the devil take over. After some time, Emperor asked, "What has 𝐸 been doing since the New Year ball?" The butler replied, "She has been sparring with Lord 𝐸 once a week. She will be attending a gathering hosted by the Rantia family in 10 days. I heard she does not have an escort yet." The emperor thought, "I have hated 𝐸 since we were young. I already did not like the fact that he was tall, had dark hair, and was skilled with a sword. But his soul would also turn red with love whenever he looked at 𝐸, so I will just have to get rid of both of them myself." The butler told him, "Lady 𝐸 has requested an audience with you this afternoon." The emperor replied, "Very well then, prepare for 𝐸's visit. And how do I look? I hope I look sickly and frail." Next scene, 𝐸 thought, "I came late in the afternoon on purpose so I could just drop off this meme fruit for 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢, so what is all this?" The butler spoke, "His Majesty is not in his office. He is not feeling well and is resting in bed." 𝐸 asked, "What's wrong with him this time? Is he better now?" The butler replied, "It is nothing too serious, so please do not worry." 𝐸 spoke, "My apologies. I tend to worry when the people around me are ill." The butler thought, "So this is why His Majesty said that earlier." After that, the butler said, "I shall take my leave now," and thought, "If I recall correctly, His Majesty was calling her name while he was in pain last night. That lady has her work cut out for her." 𝐸 said, "𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢, wake up." Suddenly, the emperor grabbed her. 𝐸 thought, "What in the world is happening?" The emperor spoke, "That tickles." 𝐸 thought, "What are you doing?" "I was 6 years old when I first met 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢. I was an adult on the inside, but he was only 6, so no matter what he did, I just saw him as a child. His hair is wet for some reason, and his muscles are firm. Why is he in this state? He is a full-grown man. I need to get off before he wakes up. Wait, why are you pulling me back down? Not this again. Whatever, I give up. This is seriously driving me nuts. Stop pulling me closer. I can feel his wet hair on my bare skin. This feels strange. No, snap out of it. Don't get carried away. I need to hurry up and get out of here." The emperor spoke. "Don't go," 𝐸 replied. "Are you finally awake? Then let go of me." "What? Why are you climbing on top of me? Seriously, get off me." "Didn't something similar happen earlier? I am definitely smacking him when he wakes up. Anyhow, was 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 always this strong? I can't move at all. Come to think of it, his arms and strong hands feel different from before. Ever since we started seeing each other again, the air between us has felt a little strange, but the image of his younger self was still stronger in my heart. But now, he seems like a grown man to me, now that I think about it. I never really dated anyone in my original world. I was not the type to socialize much either, so I never even heard other people's stories about their dating life. I thought it would feel unpleasant to make this much physical contact with someone, but feeling Tess's heartbeat is comforting, and the warmth of his body is making me drowsy. At this rate, I might fall asleep. No, I can't. If I spend the night at the palace, my peaceful life will be over. Father would faint, and mother would yell at me. I have to control my urges." 𝐸 spoke, "𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢, get up already. It's not like I can just kick him off the bed either. So giving up and spending the night at the palace, or kicking the emperor at the palace?" The emperor stated, "I would prefer not to get kicked. I missed you, my cold-hearted 𝐸." 𝐸 replied, "Stop that. And what do you mean I am cold-hearted?" The emperor said, "I am still the emperor, you know. Don't you think you are being a little rough with me?" 𝐸 said, "Be thankful that I stopped there. You put me in a tight spot." The emperor asked, "How so?" The next moment, 𝐸 spoke, "Button up your shirt already." The emperor replied, "You are so violent." 𝐸 asked, "Are you trying to catch a cold?" The emperor thought, "It seems like my plan is working this time. I wonder what sort of face you would make if I were to tell you that I want to kiss your pale neck and leave my mark on you, but I need to be patient. Little by little, I will work my magic on you and wait for you to open your heart to me first. And when that time comes, I will swallow you whole and never let you go. Is that mean fruit for me? On second thought, I doubt it is. You are a very busy and cold person who only ever visits me when I am sick. 𝐸 replied, You are acting like this because you are upset with me. You used to throw tantrums often when you were little, and you keep saying that I am cold. The emperor asked, What did you just put in my mouth? 𝐸 replied, Chew on it. This is the meme fruit I brought for you. It's good. The tree at our estate bore fruit for the first time, which made me think of you, so I wanted to bring you some as a gift. The emperor asked, So you thought of me? 𝐸 replied, That's right. After my family was exiled, I heard you asked Sir Guard to look after the tree and keep it alive, so it's only right that you get the tree's first batch of fruit. The emperor thought, Whenever I seduce you and try to pull you toward me, you push me aside and run away. But then there are also times when you give me sweet rewards like this. If I take one step forward toward you, you move one step back. But you are always by my side when it matters. At times it feels like I can have you all to myself if I hold you tightly enough. Yet you are always slipping through my fingers before I realize it. It feels like you have me in the palm of your hand, although you don't seem to be aware of that. 𝐸 asked, Why are you staring at me? The emperor said, Feed me another piece of fruit. 𝐸 asked, Are you a baby? Eat it yourself? The emperor asked, Then hold me. 𝐸 also asked, Seriously, why do you keep acting like a baby? The emperor replied, Because I have been feeling really weak lately. While you were out at your social gathering, I was all alone, bedridden inside the palace. I felt so lonely. 𝐸 replied, Fine, when? After some time, 𝐸 asked, But should you be sitting on the floor like this when you are the emperor? 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 replied, You are the one who was against lying with me in my bed. And how long are you going to keep acting like you don't know anything? I would gladly get on my knees if that's what you want. You know that as well. As long as I can be with you, I am fine with anything. Now that we are here together like this, it feels like we are the only two people left in the world, and that makes me so happy. 𝐸 spoke, It's just for today. I am only letting you have your way because you are sick. Don't get the wrong idea. Then she thought, This is just for today. 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 only clings to me like this and is deeply affected by everything I do. I know his blind affection for me is dangerous. But at the same time, an unfamiliar feeling is blooming in the corner of my heart. It must be because 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 seems different today. Yes, that has to be it. If not, I might get caught up in these feelings. My mana research has been progressing smoothly. Soon I should be able to find some clues on opening the interdimensional door. If I get involved too deeply in the affairs of this world, my departure will have a greater impact on it. So I have to remind myself to stay calm without getting flustered, no matter what happens. This is what I have decided, but... Next scene at the academy, Lily shouted, You should know your place. Sit quietly in the corner. You are getting a little cocky just because your sister danced with the emperor. 𝐸 replied, I never acted cocky. Lily said, Well, your existence itself is an eyesore. 𝐸 came and thought, What the hell is going on here? Then she asked, What do you think you are doing? Then I thought, Calm down. But there is no way I can calm down in this situation. Today was an ordinary day for me. 𝐸 was suddenly sent to the countryside for his work, so he won't be able to escort me out in high society for the time being. I hit a roadblock in my mana research recently. Should I ask 𝐸 to go with me instead? No. He is so busy that he has not been training with me lately. Why are all these high-ranking nobles so busy? Could it be? No, 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 is not that crazy. But since I danced with 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 at the New Year ball, everyone will be interested in who I bring to the gathering. At that moment, I was angry at myself for my indifference and said, Come here, 𝐸. Then I asked, Why aren't you answering me? What were you doing to my sister? Lily replied, I was just teaching her as her senior. Your sister was the one who did something wrong first. Isn't that right, 𝐸 Haldrant? 𝐸 replied, Yes, she is right. I was the one who made a mistake, so let's just go home. I am really all right. 𝐸 thought, She is scared. If I had not taken a shortcut, I never would have known what was happening to her. She wouldn't get this scared just from being yelled at once or twice. 𝐸 spoke. Don't worry. Let's go home. Why don't you wait in the carriage for me? There is something I have to do first. After that, 𝐸 stated. Judging by my sister's reaction, I am guessing this is not the first time you harassed her. Lily replied. Like I just said, I was teaching her a lesson as her senior. The next moment, 𝐸 slapped her. Lily asked, Did that wench just hit me? 𝐸 slapped her again. Then stated, Good. Think carefully about what you want to say next. Because I am struggling to hold myself back. You only got out of that predicament alive. Because I asked for you to be pardoned, you stupid girl. The other girls talked to each other, saying, Lady Lily was released because of Lady 𝐸. Lily shouted, What are you talking about? 𝐸 said, Think carefully before you speak. I am extremely angry at the moment. I won't sit back and let you run your mouth just because you are Oren's sister. Being a half-elf, I don't use my full strength on the weak. But I can make an exception for you. Do you understand what I am saying? You two in the back, tell me what happened. One of them replied. When the seniors were welcoming the new students at orientation, Lady 𝐸 did not greet Lady Lily first. 𝐸 stated, That's it. Are you saying the daughter of a marquis harassed the daughter of a duke over a mere greeting? You really are hopeless. Lily shouted, Hopeless? I am going to tell my father about this and have you killed. I am the future empress of this nation. I won't let anyone talk down to me like this. 𝐸 replied, Right, I suppose your father did raise you this way. And that must be why he came to me and begged me to save your life. I am saying your proud father got on his knees and groveled at my feet. That is why I personally asked His Majesty to refrain from executing you. In the end, you are only alive thanks to me. There is one more thing that I do not like. You keep saying you are going to become the empress. But the emperor you keep clinging to has been mine since we were young. In other words, I hold your life in my hands. So either apologize to 𝐸 and beg her for forgiveness or die. The choice is yours. After some time, 𝐸 asked, What took you so long? I was so worried. 𝐸 replied, I am okay. Why don't you take the carriage and go home without me? 𝐸 asked, Sure. I can do that. But are you planning on staying at the conservatory all night again? 𝐸 thought, That's right. 𝐸 was always waiting for me. My elven mother does not really understand the rules of the human world, and my father is so busy with work that he comes home late at night. Having said that, the only person she can rely on in her current situation is me, 𝐸 spoke. I will be home more often from now on. So don't worry, you and I will be spending a lot more time together. She thought, I know I will be leaving this world, but right now, strengthening 𝐸's position is my top priority. Next scene, Emperor spoke. This is a nice surprise. Did you come to see me? I just happened to finish all my work. 𝐸 replied. Greetings, Your Majesty, Emperor said. Like I said, you don't have to be so formal. Anyhow, did you really come here to see me? 𝐸 replied. Yes, I wanted to ask you for a favor. Your Majesty, the Rantia family is holding a party this weekend. Would you escort me there as my partner? She thought. In order to help my sister secure her place in high society, I need Tessa's help. Then she said, I am sorry, but please let me use you just this once. 𝐸 thought, how did the daughter of lower-ranking nobles think? They could get away with harassing the daughter of a duke. After some thinking, I soon arrived at the answer. Minors who have yet to experience society as adults have a hierarchy of their own. Knowing this, the nobles hold small gatherings for their children or have them attend social events. So they won't be looked down upon when they start studying at the academy. Because our family was exiled from the capital when I was young, we are unfortunately behind when it comes to such matters. That's why I will need Tessa's help for this. I see, they are trying really hard to listen in. This won't do. We can't talk here. Let's go somewhere more private. Your Majesty, she said. The same as ever. After some time, 𝐸 spoke. No one should overhear us here. I can't believe I started running inside the palace. Oh, sorry, I did not even give you a chance to speak. Then she thought, I grabbed his hand like I used to when we were young. I should let go before he gets the wrong idea. 𝐸 stated, I just did not want people overhearing us because this has to do with my sister. That's why I brought you here, not for any other reason. Then I will finish what I was saying earlier, but before that, can you give me some space? The emperor said, you asked to use me earlier, then you can use me. 𝐸 asked, but you don't even know what I will ask you to do. The emperor replied, just say that again for me. Ask me to be your partner again. Don't worry, you know I always listen to what you say. You said I could not kiss you on the lips without permission. Or is that what you wanted me to do? 𝐸 spoke, be my partner, there, are you satisfied? Then why are you so obsessed with those words? The emperor replied, hearing them felt like a dream come true. You would not understand even if I explained it. Anyhow, what brings you to ask me to be your partner? I know you don't like being the center of attention. 𝐸 spoke, something happened to my sister. Then she told him what happened, and thought, I was worried that he might get angry and do something rash, but he stayed surprisingly calm. The emperor replied, you seem to care for your sister more than I thought, so what you are saying is that your sister has been cut off from high society all this time. And you want to use this opportunity to show the nobles that she has an older sister, who is close enough to the emperor to bring him along as her partner, 𝐸 replied. Yes, also I am sorry for using you like this. The emperor stated, you don't have to apologize, I was just thinking that I am glad I became the emperor. I am sure you know that I would happily get on my knees for you if that's what you want. In fact, I want you to use me more. You know very well how far I will go for you with just a word from you. 𝐸 thought, under the shadows, Tess's eyes looked pitch black, like the night sky. His eyes were so deep and dark that I could not tear my own eyes away from them, the earnest look in his eyes. The emperor spoke, kiss me, I will behave, so give me your reward, 𝐸 thought. It felt like an ardent confession of love. For some reason, I could not think straight. Looking back, I have never dated anyone before. In my previous life, my father had an affair and left my sick mother. Since I was busy taking care of her, I had no time for other people. Then I was murdered by a criminal. So it's only natural that I tend not to trust people easily. To sum up all this, I am not used to situations like this. Then she said, wait. The emperor kissed her again. She thought, I know I am the one who kissed him on impulse. But what am I supposed to do next? No, wait, I should not have done this in the first place. I need to hurry and push him away. Then she said, wait, 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢, you just put your tongue in my mouth. The emperor stated, I like you very much, so I can't help myself. But don't worry, I won't do anything without your consent. 𝐸 thought, you need to stop. You can't let this progress any further. You know that better than anyone, but... The emperor asked, did you not like this kiss? I enjoyed it. 𝐸 thought, when I look into his eyes, my head feels hot, and my throat feels like it's burning. Even so, I need to tell him to stop. But this burning heat in my body must be the reason why it's moving on its own. It's just this once. Later that night, 𝐸 said, Mother, I made a mistake. Mother asked, did you? 𝐸 also asked, is that all you have to say? Mother replied, well, I am sure it was not that bad. After all, you are someone who never makes any mistakes. 𝐸 said, Mother, this actually has something to do with 𝐸. I saw her being bullied, and I think this has been going on since her first day at school. Mother asked, what, bullied? But how? Then 𝐸 told her the whole story and said, I handled the situation right then and there, so you don't have to worry about it. Mother spoke, this is largely my fault. I should have paid more attention to 𝐸. Since she always appeared happy on the outside, I assumed she was doing fine at school. Why didn't she tell me or Milan about this? 𝐸 replied, well, you and father tend to focus most of your attention on me. I know you really care about me to the point that I don't feel deserving of it. Mother asked, goodness, how can you say such a thing? 𝐸 told her, but the more you pay attention to me, the more 𝐸 will become an afterthought. I know you and father have always worried about me. Because I blamed myself for our family's exile and did nothing but read books since I was little, but I am an adult now, you don't have to worry about me so much anymore. Mother stated, I suppose I will have to pay more attention to 𝐸. I will tell your father about this as well, so we can come up with a solution together. 𝐸 replied, I already came up with a solution of my own. It won't be dangerous at all. So please don't be too alarmed by anything I do in the future. Mother replied, well, I suppose it should be all right if you say so, and you will always be the daughter that we pay attention to, so be careful at all times. 𝐸 thought, was the door open before? After some days, on the day of the Duke Rantia party, the emperor spoke, I have been waiting for you, my dear. 𝐸 thought, a carriage with the imperial family crest, accompanied by imperial knights. It looks like 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 went above and beyond in his preparation for today. The emperor said, this is the first time we have seen each other since that day. Have you thought about what I asked you to? 𝐸 asked, that day, what is he talking about? The emperor replied, your sister and I 𝐸 started coughing. The emperor continued, we're just discussing the affairs of the state. 𝐸 spoke, by the way, 𝐸, what did I tell you to do upon meeting His Majesty? 𝐸 said, greetings, Your Majesty, and introduced herself. The emperor replied, so you are 𝐸 younger sister, about you and my sister being close. It must be true after all. That is what the ladies at the academy told me. The emperor stated, sounds like that wench from House 𝐸 said something true for once. That's right. Your sister and I are very close. That is why I have prepared a gift for you. Here is the knight who will be your escort today. 𝐸 thought, wow, and said, please feel free to call me 𝐸. 𝐸 asked, don't you think you are going a little overboard? We are not even a part of the imperial family. The emperor replied, what does it matter? The two of you might become family soon enough. 𝐸 asked, family? What are you talking about? The emperor replied, were you planning to take my virginity and act like you did not? You were the one who initiated our. 𝐸 said, stop it. All I did was kiss you. Don't word it like that, or people will get the wrong idea. Besides, I agreed to forget about what happened that day. You agreed to it too. Even so, thank you for your consideration. I have not seen 𝐸 this happy in a while. Then she thought, she has been in a bad mood lately, so I was very scared. She might have overheard my conversation with mother in the sitting room that day, or maybe I am just being paranoid. Next scene. The emperor said, my knight will be accompanying her throughout the evening, so you don't have to worry. Why don't you pay more attention to me instead? I am your partner, after all. 𝐸 replied, well, you two are getting along like a house on fire. 𝐸 spoke, wow, they did a lovely job of decorating the entrance. It's pretty. The emperor replied, well, this garden can't compare to the lavish one at the imperial palace. It has dolls made with jewels, as well as golden statues. You can come to the palace and take a look if you wish. However, you must bring your sister with you. 𝐸 replied, then I would love to visit tomorrow, so we'll go tomorrow. 𝐸 replied, fine. I will make some time next week then, but on one condition, you have to get along with everyone at the party today. 𝐸 replied, all right, then asked, do you think Lady Lily will also be here? 𝐸 replied, well, her face should still be swollen after I hit it. The emperor said, let me give you a piece of advice. You can't get rid of the weeds that keep cropping up in your garden simply by crushing them. You need to nip them in the bud before they become a problem. 𝐸 asked, weeds? The emperor told her, you will find out soon enough. After some time, Lily spoke, greetings, Your Majesty. I am Lily 𝐸, the youngest daughter of the 𝐸 family. 𝐸, before that, thought the gathering at the Rantia estate was supposed to be small, just like the parties I previously attended with 𝐸. In other words, it was not supposed to be formal. It was meant to be a casual gathering between young nobles and their children, where they could talk and socialize freely. I thought this was supposed to be small. But why are there so many people here? Even the heads of many families are present. This feels more like an event at the palace than a social gathering. 𝐸 asked, "You did something again, didn't you?" The emperor replied, "It's not like that. All I did was mention that a small gathering would take place. I was just talking to myself back then. The others showed up on their own. It's not my fault." 𝐸 replied, "Fine. I suppose I should be glad that you did not make a big announcement. 𝐸 is talking to everyone." 𝐸 spoke. "It looks like 𝐸 is feeling more comfortable. Everyone is being friendly, and it looks like she has returned to her usual bright self." The emperor asked, "Are you satisfied with the results? Then play with me now." "I am bored," 𝐸 replied. "Stop that. What if someone sees you?" The emperor spoke, "But you have only been paying attention to your sister this entire time. You are making me jealous." 𝐸 thought, "Oh no. I actually thought he was cute just now. This is not good. Ever since that day, I have been feeling more conscious of 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢. Could it be that I like him?" The emperor asked, "Is something the matter?" Suddenly, a marquis came and spoke. "Greetings, Your Majesty," 𝐸 thought. "I can't believe what I was about to say to 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢. I must have been out of my mind. To think Lily of all people snapped me out of it." The emperor stated, "So you are the Lily who was running around calling herself the future empress?" The marquis replied, "I heard my daughter has wronged the Haldrant family. I wish to take this opportunity to formally apologize to Lady 𝐸." The emperor asked, "But isn't this strange? The one who committed the offense has not even greeted Lady 𝐸. It seems your daughter does not know how to bow her head. In that case, I can teach her now." The marquis shouted, "Apologize to Lady 𝐸 immediately." Lily asked, "Father, how could you make me do this?" 𝐸 was frightened. 𝐸 said, "Don't worry, I will handle this." Then spoke, "That's enough, Your Majesty. I do not need Lady Lily's apology. This is my precious sister's first social gathering, and I do not wish for it to turn into a bad memory for her. However, I believe Lady Lily must be taught a lesson for telling everyone that she would become the future empress, when you made no such announcement, Your Majesty." The emperor spoke, "Yes, you are right. The 𝐸 family will be held responsible for not educating their daughter properly. You can expect a punishment in the near future." The person thought, "So that lady is 𝐸." After some time, 𝐸 thought, "There is always a huge crowd around 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢. I barely got out of there without being noticed. I did not think there would be people in this remote corner of the manor as well. Was he really trying to get away from the crowd like me?" Then she asked, "Excuse me. Are you the Mana Storm researcher? Dr. Worthing blessed?" Worthing asked, "So you know who I am." 𝐸 thought she couldn't believe it was really him. He is a scholar who is legendary in the Northern Empire's academic world. Before he appeared, Mana was not considered an area of study. Once this scholar published his thesis, Mana became widely accepted as a real area of study. That makes him a savior in my eyes, but not much was known about him, and he rarely made an appearance in public. 𝐸 started asking questions about different things, and Worthing told her the answers. After some time, he said, "I have heard rumors about you potentially being the next legendary scholar." Then thought, "I can't believe a lady like her is carrying around a notebook for mathematical calculations." 𝐸 asked, "I heard you don't like places with lots of people." Worthing replied, "Actually, I am the Duke's distant relative, but please keep my presence secret from the others." 𝐸 replied, "Okay," and asked, "Would you be willing to meet me at a cafe in town this weekend?" Worthing asked, "A cafe?" 𝐸 replied, "It has rooms reserved for nobles, so we should be able to speak in private there. I still have so many questions about Mana that I want to ask you." Worthing replied, "Very well, we can meet there this weekend." The emperor saw them. Next scene. In the carriage, 𝐸 thought, "Something is off. Why hasn't 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 said a word this whole time?" 𝐸 was sleeping in a separate carriage. "I thought you would cling to me the entire ride back. So I even came up with a plan to stop him, but on the contrary, he is being distant. This is the first time I have seen him act like this." 𝐸 asked, "𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢, are you mad at me?" The emperor replied, That's the first foolish thing you have said to me. How could I ever be mad at you? You are my one and only, you know that better than anyone, so your question seems a bit cruel. 𝐸 thought. I recognize the look in his eyes. Whenever I lock eyes with 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢, my body seems to freeze up. When he looks straight at me, I feel a desire that burns so hot it feels cold. It feels like I am drowning in a swamp that's drawing to swallow me up. The emperor stated, I am scared that you might start to like blonde hair more than black hair, and that you might start smiling at someone other than me. If you end up leaving me one day, I don't know what I would do. 𝐸 asked, 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢, how can you love someone this much? How can you give yourself entirely to me? The emperor replied, well, it's because you are my entire world. After some kissing, 𝐸 said, wait, 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢, can you please give it a rest? The emperor asked, why did you stop? Don't push me away. 𝐸 replied, you are getting it all wrong. I didn't push you away just now because I didn't like you. It was because I couldn't breathe. You were all over me, so I couldn't catch a breath. The emperor spoke, just breathe through your nose then, 𝐸 replied. Do you really think I wasn't? This is only my second kiss ever, so of course, I am a little overwhelmed. The emperor said, so even you have things you are bad at, 𝐸 replied. You are the first person I ever kissed, so it would be weirder if I were good at it. The emperor spoke, I am so happy. 𝐸 asked, you are just crying your eyes out, so why are you smiling? The emperor replied, because I am the only one who knows this side of you. You always appear so perfect and composed. Yet you kissed me to comfort me and let me see you in a more vulnerable state. Don't show this side of you to anyone else. 𝐸 asked, why don't you wipe your tears before you act all manly? Then thought, the way he is grinning is so annoying. And said, besides, I could say the same for you. You always seem like a dignified emperor when you are in public. So why do you keep crying in front of me? The emperor replied, I am not sure why I can't stop crying around you. Maybe this is love. 𝐸 thought, I don't know about love, but I know this kiss tastes really sweet. Next scene, 𝐸 spoke. Congratulations on becoming the head of the family. It is something you always wanted, and now you finally got your wish. Orhan replied, well, I have to thank you as well. When you said you would not accept Lily's apology, my father got scared. He must have been afraid that his precious younger daughter would really get executed this time. So he spoke to His Majesty and agreed to take responsibility by stepping down as the Marquis. After that, His Majesty offered me the family title. 𝐸 asked, then why are you not happy? Orhan replied, because of Lord 𝐸. As you know, I am very fond of him. But now that I am the head of the family, there probably isn't any hope for us being together, although he is going to become the head of his family. But the man I marry must be willing to join the 𝐸 family as an in-law, and 𝐸's family would not like that. On top of that, Lord 𝐸 probably does not like me back either. So, I will have to find another man. I won't be a fool who sacrifices her goals for love. Besides, I don't believe in eternal love. 𝐸 thought, I think I really do like you, 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢, but I am still scared to open my heart to you. Then, at night, 𝐸 was again having dreams and said, it hurts. The emperor asked, what is wrong, poor thing? Did you have a nightmare? 𝐸 asked, why are you here? The emperor replied, what do you mean? I am always by your side. 𝐸 asked, do you really love me? The emperor replied, yes, I love you. 𝐸 asked, and will you always stay by my side? The emperor replied, no, that's impossible. You are just going to leave me in the end. You have gone to your original world. Suddenly, her own self spoke, don't lie to yourself. You are not afraid that 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢 might betray you. You are afraid that you might betray his love once the interdimensional gateways open. You are a coward. Suddenly, 𝐸 woke up and thought, was that just a dream? These nightmares are only getting out of hand. Next scene, 𝐸 thought he was dressed more formally than he was at the party. He must have acknowledged me as a fellow researcher. Then they started telling each other about their research and finding solutions. Worthing asked, I am curious about this. When I first met you at the party, why are you so immersed in your mana research? I will use myself as an example. I am focusing on my research to publish a new thesis. This is also my job. It is only natural for me to immerse myself in my studies. Most importantly, I very much enjoy researching mana, so I thought you might be an eccentric scholar like me. But from what I observed today, you don't seem to be enjoying your research very much. It seems like you are rushing because you are being chased by something. 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢'𝐬 replied, I am more interested in interdimensional travel than mana. That is why I am researching mana storms. But I am having trouble predicting where these mana storms occur, so that must be why I am losing my patience. Worthing replied, these storms actually occur near places where beings like dragons and fairies reside, but keeping records of their location on the continent is forbidden under the law for safety reasons. 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢'𝐬 replied, I can help you with that. These are records of their location on the continent. Do you really believe that interdimensional travel is possible? Worthing replied, I don't know what it is you are looking for, but I hope you find it. 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢'𝐬 thought, this is the very moment I have been waiting for. Why is it that I am thinking about 𝐇𝐚𝐧𝐢'𝐬 right now? She then replied, I hope I find it as well. Like this video. Hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.